Hi, today I'm going to talk with you about how to work on campus. In part three of our CVIS check-in series, we talked about the ways that F1 students can legally work while in the United States. Check out that full video for all of your options. But the main way to work while you're in the US is to work on campus. There are two different ways to work on campus. The most common is through the work-study program. The second type are positions funded by a department. Check your financial aid award letter to see whether you qualify for a work-study job on campus. As an international student, your letter will say Davidson Student Employment. Typically, first-year students approved for work-study start with an allotment of $2,100 per academic year. This is money earned for services rendered, which means that it is not given to you unless you work these hours. If you don't find and work your hours through work-study, you'll miss out on this funding. So how do you find a job on campus? Davidson College uses Handshake to post positions both on campus and off campus. Each student arrives at Davidson with a Handshake account already set up with their davidson.edu email. You'll then be able to log into your account using Davidson's single sign-on process. Once you're in your account, you can update your profile, update your resume, and search for open jobs on campus. Do filter by on-campus positions to weed out jobs that you're not eligible for. Then apply for available on-campus jobs that interest you. Each department might have a different set of hiring criteria. Some may be looking for students in a certain major or applicants with a certain skill set. So just read each job description to see what interests you and what you're eligible for. Once you're offered a job, you'll also need to apply for your Social Security number as soon as possible. You can begin working on campus after you've applied for your SSN, even if you do not yet have the number. Meet with Human Resources to complete a document called the I-9 and present your passport and your I-94. If you have your job upon arrival to campus, you can meet with an HR representative during international pre-orientation to start this paperwork. After your SSN is granted, you'll need to return to the HR office to record your SSN officially. Now, how many hours can you work per week? Well, the maximum hours per week you can work as an F1 student is 20. However, you also need to calculate how many hours you've been awarded through your financial aid. First, divide your work-study allotment by 28 weeks. That's two 14-week semesters. Then divide that by your rate of pay per hour. This will give you your average hours of funding per week. Typically, it turns out to about 10 hours. Now, if you only have 10 hours of work-study funding, but you still want to work the maximum of 20 hours per week, you could take on a second job through a department-funded position. Department-funded positions do not detract from your work-study balance. These are typically jobs with dining services, Center for Teaching and Learning, RLO, or the HURT Hub. Other departments might have additional funding for skilled positions from within their own budget, so check the designation in Handshake to learn which positions you may be eligible for. So let's say a student has a work study included in their financial aid package. Then they find a work study job for 10 hours per week. They may also add on a gig at the HURT Hub for another 5 hours per week, resulting in 15 hours of work every week. Now they could go up to 10 hours at the HURT Hub as long as they keep track of all hours worked across multiple jobs and make sure that they never exceed 20 hours in any given week. Again, while in F1 student status, all work is limited to on-campus employment unless you have specific authorization to work off-campus through CPT or OPT. Working remotely while in the US, working for cash, or serving as a contract worker are all considered unauthorized employment. Talk with me or someone from ISP for more information about your legal limitations on working. Liz Robinson is your contact in Human Resources to learn all about the work study program, finding positions on Handshake, or submitting all the paperwork required to work on campus. Regardless of the type of on-campus job worked, you will be responsible for paying income taxes. Check out our video on non-resident taxes to learn how money is deducted from your biweekly paycheck and may or may not be returned to you after filing your tax returns each spring. Sam Waithira is an international student with a great on-campus job.
Working on a campus is a great opportunity to learn new skills, sharpen your work style, and make connections outside your academic department, not to mention getting that extra money to cater for expenses that are outside or not covered in your financial aid package.
I remember my on-campus job as one of the highlights of my college experience. I actually worked in the international office. I hope you also find a great job that gives you great memories, good network, and sharpens your skills to get you ready for your career beyond Davidson.